Cook with me, guys, while I tell you a story of a true life event that happened at the market. It was on a Saturday and I received a call from my aunt who pleaded that I followed her to the market to shop items for her kids for this Xmas. The weather was very hot, so I had to wear a bucket hat to avoid sunburn. We got to the market and our first stop was the children's shoe section. We got a total of 4 shoes and headed to the next section. On our way to the clothes store, we stopped to buy a bigger bag because our item seems bigger than we expected. After buying a bigger bag, we continued until we got to the clothes store. Meanwhile, before we left the shoe store, I noticed a woman who came in to buy stuffs for her kids too. She left the same time we did. This woman kept following us without our notice. Finally, we got to the clothes store. We proceeded to selecting clothes for the kids and adding other beauty accessories like sunglasses, wristwatch, and so on. It was time to finally pay and leave because buyers were much and I think they were short-staffed, so it took us time before they got to our orders. We made payment, packed our items into the bag and carried it out to board the tricycle. Finally, we boarded and waited for other passengers to come in before we left. Guys, guess who boarded with us? The woman we met at the clothes store, carrying the exact same bag of luggages with us. 15 minutes into the drive, she stopped to alight, paid, and instead of carrying her luggage, she carried ours. My auntie was so observant and asked that the bag be checked to be sure she wasn't carrying our bag since we had the same luggage. The woman got pissed and started shouting, saying we were calling her a thief. After all back and forth, the bag was opened and behold, brethren, it was our item. So we asked that her misplaced baggage be opened too. And guess what, guys? The bag was filled with trash. And that was how the strange woman started running into the crowd. People kept shouting, "Ole, ole, thief, catch her, catch her." When they caught her, she started crying and pleading for forgiveness, saying that she's just a widow with 3 kids and her husband died 5 years ago and she has nothing to survive on with her kids, that nobody wants to help her. So, proceeding on the interview with her, we kept asking her for how long has she been into this particular action that she's been doing, and she said that this was her first time, which we know that she is lying. People threatened to flog her, threatened to naked her, threatened to send her into the crowd to be burnt into ashes, but I pleaded with my auntie and said that they shouldn't do any sort of things to her. So we gave her a total of 5,000 naira and proceeded to send her to the park ourselves to make sure that the angry mob do not at least vandalize her by tearing her clothing and then burning her to ashes in the crowd. Guys, what would you do in such situation if you were in our shoe and someone interchanged the items, the goods you bought for